Hello and welcome to Harvard Plays. This week, I've had a crazy week at work, so I've decided to play something that's going to relax me a little bit. And so I've settled on a game called Absolute Drift, which came out on the PlayStation Store a couple of years ago. I remember reviewing it. And yeah, this is just a great game to chill out and vibe to. It's got an excellent soundtrack and just very fun, challenging, but not high-stakes gameplay. So hopefully we'll get a lot of time to have a quick chat about how games are made and what they do to us. And also, before I begin, a massive apology for the sound last week. Still working out how this show is working, but hopefully from now on I can fix up those issues before they get too bothersome. Alright, so this game is a top-down racing game, which is themed around this idea of Zen. So you get to see this giant statue of Buddha, and it's teaching you how to drift. Drifting was created in Japan by a race car driver who had too much sake during lunchtime. I feel like they're not allowed to say that, so you couldn't drive in a straight line. Becoming a drifting master will require patience and determination. Next time we see each other, you'll be a drifting master. Now go forth and hit walls. Drift. Yeah, so the challenge of this game is to drive and turn in a proper way without just going completely off the rails. Alright, let's go. So gently turn, then counter steer. Well, that went terribly. It's been a while since I played this game. I feel like watching this, well, nope, I don't want that. Watching this on a YouTube channel is probably not going to be very indicative of how difficult this game is and how weird the controls are. You're just gonna see me crash into walls a bunch. I'm gonna put it on medium. I do like that you have to drive through gates to select the difficulty, but I wish they made maybe like the easy gate wider and the hard gate thinner, narrower. And that way, the players who's more advanced would already need to demonstrate their skill. Anyway, we're gonna go for our first event, which is tutorial drift. You drive through to activate it. There's online leaderboards and all that. I've never been too bothered about it. Every level has these 5 achievements, which you can see right above play. And the more of those you get, the more you can progress in the game. So you can unlock further areas and different challenges. We're just gonna go straight in. Our challenge is to score some points and to chain a big drift together in this very simple circular track. Now the way the drift works is that you can see in the top left corner, once it starts, you start to gain points. Like now you can see the points gaining, and if you sustain it, you'll get a multiplier. Now when you hit a wall, your drift immediately ends and you can't gain any more multiplier. And after a timer passes, your points are banked automatically. So this challenge is really just about getting used to being comfortable in this circle and not going too far in or out, just getting in that nice sweet spot. And as you can see, I'm real bad at it. So I wish I could show my controller just to say how fluid, or I guess I wouldn't say unresponsive, but how nuanced these controls are, because it's definitely not like a regular racing game where you steer left and right. Alright, so I got everything except for this 10 times multiplier, which is a very difficult one because that requires you to maintain that drift for more than one full revolution of that circle. I might come back to it later. I'm just gonna get as far into this game as I can to show a little bit about how the different challenges manifest here. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of this drum and bass soundtrack as well. I just think it pairs so well with these minimalist aesthetics and the fact that you're driving what looks to be a skyline. It's just good vibes all around. Reminds me of that 90s anime tuna culture. Okay, so this one is about crashing into some bonus blocks. So it's more about precision control instead of maximizing your point score. You want to drift through the blocks to break them into small pieces. And the lesson to be learned here is that when your car is sideways, you have a larger surface area, so you can break more blocks at once. The idea is for you to drift through these blocks instead of doing what I'm doing now and individually hitting them, because that looks boring. But of course this is a tutorial, and it's been a while since I've played it, so I can't guarantee that everything is going to look professional. Just trying to figure out the controls back again as I go. Not doing too badly though. Okay, we've done 25. 10 seconds left. Let's see how many more we can do. There's one right there. And we missed it. Excellent. And we missed those too. Okay. So that was not a virtuous display of skill or anything, but at least I passed all the criteria. So let's just move on and leave that shame behind me. Yeah, what I like about this game is that it's not too difficult, and there's not really any stakes. So you're never in danger, you're never stressed about anything. All you need to worry about is just being precise and successfully passing the level requirements. And you get as many tries as you want to do that. There's no lives, there's no death, there's no timers or anything like that. So it's just you and the car, basically. This one is about clipping points, which I believe is about driving through narrow gates without touching either gate, but you've got to be within a drift for it to count. So let's try and drift our way around here. I'm not doing great at this. The game can be a little particular about what is a drift, so when you are drifting or not. You see, I just clipped that one. And later in the game, you'll see races with these clipping points in them. So you'll want to try and hit them while you're also trying to navigate a circuit as quickly as you can. Alright, let's do this a few more times. Oof. That screeching sound when you hit the wall is not pleasant at all. Okay, I think this lesson is trying to teach you just how to initiate drifts and how to maintain them. Oh, that was so short. I completed 3 clipping points. That's, yeah, good enough. Let's move on. The lesson there is trying to teach you how to begin a drift and how to figure out where the main turning points of a drift is going to be. But now we get to enter World 1. And the thing I really like about this game is that it's kind of an open world. So they'll give you these little challenges, like here, you want to drift between the lamppost and the building. And completing these challenges awards you with, I believe it's blocks, and so that allows you to go further in the game. And there's also challenges which allow you to get stars to go into the next area as well. So now I'm going to try and jump over this plane. I did that real badly. I'm just going to go back and try that one again. And the cool thing that I like too is that your trail, even if you're not drifting, your car leaves a trail that shows you where you've been, and you get to make your own mark on the level. You get to see your failed attempts and then your successes. Like this one, where I'm spinning gracefully in the air. Yeah. Was that a success? I think it didn't count because I didn't go over the plane, I went to the side. Wow. Okay, that's what I get for trying to spin in the air. This time, let's just be basic. Let's just jump over the plane and not do any tricks to it. Alright. Success. Alright, that's enough messing around for now. Let's try doing a challenge. Well, let's paint our car. You gotta drive through the gates, and it's a little bit easier said than done, to be honest. Alright, we are green. Okay, let's do another pass at that. I'm not a huge fan of this color. Red, there we go. Everyone knows that scientifically red things go faster. So let's just stick with that. This challenge, this weirdly shaped challenge, no one make comments, looks like sunglasses. I think this is a circuit race, and I am very bad at finding the entrance. It's like when you try to put in a USB and it's always the wrong way around the first 2 times. Okay, let's go in. So what do I need to do here is a drift called Kobe. I'm trying to get points and multipliers and duration and complete clipping points. So it looks like just a circuit, but the ultimate goal is to maximize my points. Let's give this a try. So this is really just thinking about where can you initiate drifts, how can you maximize your points, and how can you follow these racing or drift lines successfully. Oh, things are not going well. Things are not going well. Alright, so these clipping points, all you need to do is do a drift near them. And by the way, this is definitely a game that you need to play on controller because finer movements are very useful. You don't always want to pull your stick all the way to the end. Yeah, this is I don't know why when I thought of this game to play this week, I thought it would just be a really like zen and peaceful and graceful experience, because all I'm doing is hitting walls and making awful noises right now. It's definitely a game that once you get used to it, you feel quite expert at it, but if you're not used to it, you feel just very clumsy. It's like you're trying your best, but your best is not good enough. That was a bit too real for a second though. Okay, so I got some achievements. At the very least, I'll be good enough to go to the next level and see more challenges. Alright. Wow, I didn't get anything out of that. Well, let's finish and see if there's anything easier in this world. Yeah, they have some quotes that seem like mock wisdom. I guess it all fits in the theme of the game. And I'm very glad that they haven't really raised the stakes here. They've just kept it very lo-fi, very relaxing. Gives you as much time as you need to get used to it. And that sound effect when you succeed an overworld challenge, it sounds like finding a clue in LA Noire. I don't know why my brain just connected that like that, but I swear those are the same sound bites. Okay, what's this? This one wants me to score points, reach a multiplier, get a 3-second drift, complete 2 perfect drift lines and score a bunch of line points. Okay, let's try our best. This one has a lot of those ones where you need to drift exactly as they ask you to. That went really badly. Oh my goodness, that was so bad. Okay, so if you don't do it perfectly, then it doesn't count. So you only get a limited amount of tries to try and make this work. Yeah, my racing line's generally quite disappointing. That was alright. I got almost half of it. Probably going at it with too much speed though. Okay, let's try it this time. Nope, that was terrible. At least the drift went pretty well. I think I got some points for that drift. Yeah, this one's a lost cause. There's no way. Oh, it's so bad. I always think of this. I'm in Australia, and I don't know if this applies to people in the United States or anything like that, but our slippery road signs are like this ute, or what is a ute? A truck, right? With tire skids behind it, and the tire skids cross over each other somehow. And I might flash a picture of it on the screen just a second. It looks like this. And every time I see it, I think, how did you lose control of your car so badly that your tire skids crossed over each other? It's like, did your wheels detach and then reattach? Yeah, I think about that a lot. Anyway, back to Absolute Drift. We absolutely bombed that. That was awful. So let's try and fulfill at least one of these criteria. We got high score, multiplier, 3-second drift, 2 perfect drift lines, and score the points. Yeah, let's just try it again. Let's just do the best that we can. I have no strategy here. Ugh. It's very much a if you can do what you can, if you can't kind of game. There's no different strategies, it's just force yourself and one time you'll be better. And another thing to remember that I'm really bad at doing is don't hold the accelerators for too long. Oh nice, I got it. Yeah, I've been playing, last game I reviewed for DDNet was Need for Speed Heat, and that's a game where you can basically hold accelerate the entire time and you'll be fine. It's very much not a precision game like this one, so I have to really unlearn those habits. If you go too fast, your car will absolutely spin out. So you want to just very gently nudge the accelerator and the turn direction. Okay, that was pretty good. We got some points. We got a 3-second drift and we scored 60k, so I'm happy to move on. Use as little throttle and steering as possible, so I'm guessing they want you to unlearn your habits from racing games, which is like just go as fast as you can, and they want you to get used to being precise and careful. I remember this now. I remember going through this difficulty the first time I played, and then learning to just not push my right trigger all the way to the bottom, and learning to very gently nudge my control stick instead of hitting it to the sides like I usually do in all my other games. Okay, let's find another activity to do. That one was failed quite abysmally, so we don't have to go back to our side of shame. See if there's anything else to worry about. Okay, maybe we can do some overworld challenges. Oof. I know I saw one to the top left corner. Okay, so we gotta drift through those two things. It was not very graceful, but we did it. Okay, one mission left, so oof. Let's go back to the 1 out of 5 and get something from that. In the next zone we get different types of missions, and that'll be more interesting to watch than me hitting walls over and over. That genuinely took like 30 seconds to get into the mission. This is the kind of game that I've challenged myself to succeed at this week. So what do we need to do? We score 100k, get a 10 times multiplier, that's not happening, do a 5-second drift, and complete 10 clipping points. I'm guessing the points one is going to be the easiest because everything else just seems impossibly difficult. Especially the multiplier. Okay. Be very gentle on the accelerator and see how we go. Not great, but better than last time, I think. Let's just make sure we get the clipping points at least. Alright. Doesn't count. You need to be going at a certain speed to start initiating a drift, so you can't really get a clipping point if you just crashed your car, for example. Alright. This lap is so far been a disaster. Oof, and it gets worse. Alright, I didn't even know I was drifting then, but I'll take it. Surely that should have counted. Okay. Ugh. For some reason that counts. Yeah, the clumsiness is really getting to me at this point. Look at that absolute mess in the ground that I just made. Okay. Granted, I've never done anything like drifting a car in real life. I would want to try, but I feel like with my sense of coordination, it wouldn't go fantastically, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble, I think. Never been the kind of person to do donuts in a parking lot, even though it sounds fun, but then again, respect authority, don't deface public property, you know, all that good authoritarian stuff. Alright. We did not succeed. Let's try this again. Huh. I don't know if many people who watch these videos have or are as into indie games as I am and have played as many silly games as I have. I don't know if there's anyone out there who's just like an absolute expert on absolute drift, unintended, and they're just watching me and cringing and going, wow, this guy is so bad. He's making his car do 720s instead of being gentle on the accelerator. This game has definitely been an exercise in unlearning racing game habits. I don't know if that's relatable to anybody else. You know how sometimes you play a game that has similar mechanics to a genre that you're really familiar with, and there's just something different, something off about it, right? And that just, your hands just can't get around it. Your hands just refuse to do it the right way. That's happened to me a lot, with a lot of different genres actually. Happens a lot with rhythm games, happens a lot with fighting games. Sometimes with racing games too, because every game is a different degree of how much your steering affects the car you're driving. So some games you need to brake and some games you don't. Sometimes you play Mario Kart and you forget how to play any racing game. Okay, do we do better? We did not. Okay, let's target something. Let's be very deliberate about this. Reach a multiplier. No, we can't do that. Get a 5-second drift. Maybe let's just try that. Let's go a bit slower and try to achieve this 5-second drift. Oof. This is really not going well. Okay. Well, maybe we can just focus on these clipping points. Make sure that we get as many as we can. We get 3 laps to do this, and I think that's like 6 clipping points in the entire course. So if we get about half of them each run, then we're in the good books. And this is me driving as gently as I can. I think if you hit the point, then you have no chance of getting it. Okay, this did not work out well. I think that in this last lap I'll need to get every single one of them. I want 10. Okay, that was a 1. That was a 2. A lot of scraping, but going well so far. Oh, this might actually be perfect. No. Okay, we tried. Okay, let's just drift past this. Didn't count. Okay, that's alright. We can recover. Didn't count either. Less good. And we got one there. Okay, how many was that? That was 7. Okay, one last try. At least the music is hyping me up. I was thinking about it. When I figure out how to record my controller while I play, I want to do a Let's Play of DJ Max, because Matt violently hates that game, and I think it's fantastic, so I need to show that I am physically capable of playing the game and my hands will do what the buttons need them to do, even though it's completely unintuitive. Alright, that was 3 points. I think we're on a good run this time. Second lap. No, we messed that up. Nope, okay, this is not going that great. Yeah, so definitely let me know too if there's any games or genres you're interested in seeing me play, because I've tried doing something different every week. Oh, my car is flipped. I think it automatically resets. Yeah, there we go. I've tried a few different genres every week. I've tried lots of different things. I try to keep it a bit indie because I feel like there's enough YouTubers making Let's Plays of the most popular stuff, right? No one needs to hear my voice going over that, because I'm sure there's a more popular person doing it better than I am. So I think maybe let's talk about some games that haven't been as appreciated or as well known, that you really need to see in action to properly get. Because take this game for example. If you see it in screenshots, you're just like, oh, it's just a really boring, plain looking racing drift game. Sure, the lines behind your car look cool and all, but what's special about it, right? And only after playing for a while do you realize just how harsh it is and how demanding it is that you master these drift mechanics. And that's something that doesn't convey well with gameplay or with screenshots, and I'm realizing it doesn't convey greatly when you're watching it either, but at least it gives you a bit of an extra piece of info, right? If you've never heard of this game before, hearing me play and suck at it might help you make up your mind about it too. I hope that maybe if I play really badly, someone will go, damn, I'm sure I can do better than this. And then they'll get the game, and then my job is done. I think, though, this has been a good run. I've just finished that achievement about getting points, because I made a really long drift a while ago, and I think I'm well on my way to doing the clipping point one too. Yeah, that was a great drift. Alright, there's another point. I think we only need maybe one or two more and we've got it. Yep, okay, we have two more chances to get them. Yes, we got it. Alright. Okay, enough of that suffering. We can move on to the next zone. Finish, let's leave. Later on there's some challenges that are really, really difficult. And I remember when I played through this game on the first try, or when I was reviewing it, there were just things that I just could not bring myself to do. It was just way too difficult. And they would sit there haunting me. Like those levels that have 4 out of 5 missions complete, and I would just absolutely not be able to do the last one. Hold up a minute. Oh, never mind. I see. So I needed to finish the overworld missions then. Maybe the ones that I just did don't count, or maybe I need to finish that race there that is next to the garage, and since until now I've just completely not noticed. Let's try it. Oh yeah, so this is a stupid midnight level. This is the one thing I don't like about this game, is that they have these levels in the dark, and you're driving a car and you've got your headlights on and you can't really see very far in front of you, but if you just memorize the track, then it's just trivially easy, so there's that. And I'm recording this on a very small screen TV, small enough that when the loading screen text appears I can't really read it from my distance. So this is extremely frustrating right now. I'm not trying my best, I want it to be over. Let the car scrape, I don't care. Okay. One day I will make a successful turn, but today is not that day. Just keep it up. Oh. Surprised I passed that. Alright, there's the exit. Can't wait to get out of here fast enough. Alright, does that... No, it does not. Why is it not letting me through? Why is it not letting me through? Okay, maybe I need to find another overworld thing then. Oh yeah, the reason why I was talking about DJ Max before, the massive tangent, is because that's the game that introduced me to drum and bass, and it's the game that really made me appreciate the genre. Whereas before I was like, oh, it's just noise, it's just like, you know, taps and bangs and whatnot. I just described that so badly. But after playing DJ Max, which is a game that really requires you to tap into the rhythm and to understand how a song is put together, because you take part in not just the melody, but also the drums and the bass and the just every rhythmic element of the song. Once I started appreciating that, then the genre just became so interesting to me, and it had this hypnotic effect that I'm sure that other fans of drum and bass can attest to, which I just didn't get the first time I heard it outside of a game context. And now I love it. Like, this music right now is lit, and I'm just very happy to be poorly driving my car while listening to it. Now I'm gonna go back because I swear I've missed something. Surely it can't prevent me from advancing like this. I don't think they would require me to do more tutorial things though. Yeah, one of the things I don't like about this open world is that you lose track of what your goals are meant to be. And there's missions that you can very easily miss because of it. Okay, one mission left. I don't know why it's not letting me through. I'm sure I'm missing something extremely obvious, and everyone watching this is just completely stressed, going, "What is his problem? Why is he not able to do something so simple? Why is his drifting still awful?" Maybe let's go back into a course and let's try to succeed at something else. I'm sure if we succeed at this game enough that we'll be able to advance. Alright. Let's get in there. So what haven't we done here? We haven't done score a multiplier, we can't do that. It's too hard. Get drift land points, so hit those little orbs on the track. And the last one is complete 2 perfect drift lines. I think I can do that. It's gonna take some practice, but it'll take a lot of restarting, but I'm sure I can do it. Okay, that's not nothing, that's something. I earned some points, which might go towards my final score. Okay. Gotta hit it at the right angle. Slow down. Oh, that was so bad. So bad. Okay, this is our second pass at it. Not great. I should have slowed down, but better than the other one. Okay. This one's terrible. Let's try this again. Yeah, I usually don't try to pick games that require me to restart a lot because that's not fun to watch, right? Failure is not that fun to watch. Oh! Near successes are also not that fun to watch. But this one is getting the better of me now. I wish I could go into the later stages, but my lack of skill is prohibiting me. There should be a bunch of drift points though. This should get me well on the way to that second achievement. That wasn't great. I also have this thing where, and it's not just with games, it's with real life too. I'll know what I need to do to succeed, and I'll cognitively internalize that, right? I'll talk about it a lot. I'll say like this is exactly what I need to do, and I'll know it. I'll memorize it. And then I won't put it into practice. You know how that happens sometimes? I know exactly what I need to do. Alright. One last try. If we can't do it, we can't do it. Okay, that was not great. This is significantly worse. If anything, I hope this demonstrates to people watching that this is a challenging game and it will test your patience. And if you're into that, then you're gonna really enjoy it. It's got a lot of things to offer you that wasn't perfect, but it's closer. I have faith that I can do this. And I don't know, if you're in the mood for difficult games, I find that they help you focus on a very singular thing. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy them so much, is that sometimes your brain has just got so many thoughts running through it, right? You're just thinking about your job and about your weekend plans and about your relationships and just so many things in modern life to think about. And then playing a game, or you can just set that aside because the task right in front of you is so difficult and complicated that you have no choice. You have to focus on it. And everything kind of fades away, and your brain teaches itself, it wires itself to say, you're not going to feel satisfaction until you succeed this task that is right in front of you. And I think that's one of the reasons why video games, some people use them to cope, right? Or to make it through a hard situation, is because it allows you to block off all the external worries, and just for one brief, beautiful moment, I timed that perfectly, to forget about all your troubles and succeed at something perfectly. And just as I say it, I succeed that mission. And I feel absolute bliss, I feel just so zen right now. And I hope that that feeling will translate over into the gates being opened. Right. Nope. Okay. So I'm assuming that when it says missions, it means overworld missions now, because that one that we did in the level just didn't do anything. And I swear I would remember this, but I don't. Okay. What does going to the garage do? Or it lets you change your car. Can't see it anymore. Whatever, that's all good. We just need to find this last challenge that's going to let me go to the next level. This last mission, I mean. It's probably hiding in plain sight. It'll say it on the ground, I'm sure. It'll have some words on the ground that tells me what to do, and when I do them, the door to the next level will be opened. I just need to find that writing on the ground. And until then, I just need to contend with these awkward driving controls. This is so weird though, there's not a lot of space. It's not like it's easy to see where the missions are. I mean, it's easy to miss where the missions are. Maybe I just need to pick up that cross, that plus thing, and that counts as a mission. I genuinely have no idea. I don't remember facing this difficulty the first time I played this game. Because if I was reviewing it, right, and in my first hour I was this stuck, I would have been annoyed, and I guess that was the mission, so thank you game, let's move on. Let's leave this awful moment behind us. And move on to the next level, which will have more difficult levels, and more difficult stages, and more awful moments. Alright, straight in here. Tutorial for donuts. Oh, I forgot about this, yeah. So you can do a donut around these orange things, and you'll earn points for that. And I am just completely awful at this. I always hit it from too high of a speed. Let's try the smaller one. Oh my goodness, I'm comically bad at this. So the game very mercifully registers any drifts in the vicinity of a donut as part of your donut. Because if it made you do the whole circle around perfectly, we would be here for hours. We would not be able to do this properly. So you just need to do some stationary drifts in the vicinity, and the game will be satisfied. Just call it half circle donuts. And imperfect donut. And you know, it's the 21st century. Donuts don't have to come in round shapes. They can come in balls, or they can come in, I don't know, square donuts. Knock yourself out. Do what you want. We're gonna move on. Okay. Tutorial now is for spin zones. I'm guessing this is, yeah, so you want to do a spin inside the box, which is much harder than it sounds. I can do a spin, but figuring out where that spin is going to happen is difficult. You want to land your spin directly in the box. And once you successfully land it, it becomes much easier. And this is again about regulating speed, using your turning and your brakes to the maximum effect. We almost got there. Alright, that's 2. Let's finish this one. And now that the game's introduced these 2 mechanics, they can have more overworld challenges too. Alright. That was easy enough. Okay, this one, not so easy. Whatever, we finished it. Oh, we actually got all 5. Nice. Okay, welcome to World 2. I think we'll just do a few more overworld challenges and call it a day. It's been not a long recording, but I think I've shown a good amount of what this game has to offer. We've listened to some cool drum and bass. I've waxed a lot about game genres, and I don't see myself getting much better at this. So I'm gonna end the cringe before it gets too much. Just donuts and... is that a forklift? I don't know. Most of the challenge of this game is definitely just getting used to it. Getting used to the controls, getting used to its own internal logic, because it does just feel so different to every other racing game I've played, or every other driving game I've played. I say as I'm succeeding all these missions amazingly. Look at my unparalleled skill. Okay, done that one. And yeah, if you're good at this game, right, if you know what you're doing, then your drift patterns look really sick as well. That just there, the last 30 seconds was like me actually succeeding at this game, and it just looks cool, right? Circles and spirals and yin-yang symbols in the ground, it's just good vibes all around. Okay, we almost finished this donut. Look at that disappointing donut. Heart-shaped donut. Okay. We might just leave it here for this week. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully, if you find a game like this relaxing, I very highly recommend you pick it up. And it'll challenge you, but it'll also give you an opportunity to practice your skills, get better, and watch yourself improve over time. And that's really what we're looking for in a game, right? Next week, I have no idea what we're going to play. Let me know if you have any genre recommendations or any game recommendations, or if you just want me to just pick something more recent. I'll see how it goes. Okay, thanks for hanging out. See you next week.